Ridley Scott loves androids. Whether murderous or helpful, the director of the 1979 hit sci-fi film Alien loves to tell a story of androids. So it's no surprise that he executive produces as well as directs 2 episodes of the HBO Max series Raised by Wolves, which, contrary to its title, is not about wolves at all, but about a pair of androids attempting to form a new atheistic society on the virgin planet of Kepler-22b. I'm Ronald Young Jr., and I'm on the couch. All right, this is Ronald, and I am on the couch after watching Raised by Wolves. Raised by Wolves, available on HBO Max, created by Aaron Guzikowski, starring Amanda Collin, Abubakar Salim, Winta McGrath, Travis Fimmel, Niamh Algar, Jordan Loughran, Felix Jamieson, Ethan Hazzard, Aasiya Shah, Ivy Wong, and Matias Varela. All right, Raised by Wolves is a show that is available on, as I stated before, HBO Max. Not regular HBO, but this is an HBO Max original, which means I don't think you can watch this on anything but HBO Max. It's not on TV or anything like that. I think this is their foray into original programming, which feels weird because HBO already is its own network, so it can just make its stuff without. But yeah, that's a whole nother thing. We talk about the streaming wars and the different world that we're in. This is a sci-fi show, and as I said at the top, it's produced by Ridley Scott, and I can see his fingerprints over portions of this show. The show begins, and it's about 2 androids named Mother and Father who are launched to this planet called Kepler-22b, and they are there with several human embryos, and the idea is that they're going to raise a new atheist society. So that's the premise of the show. It is an atheist society because previously there was a war between atheists and theists, a bunch of people who serve a god named Sol, which I think it's based on the sun. There's a sun symbol that they wear and all that. And this show is very interesting. I can't say that I love it, but I watched 10 episodes of it. So I definitely feel like it's certainly something. When it came on, I remember thinking it's very dour. There's not much color in it at all. Like it's almost black and white. It's more like gray and teal, and it's all like just very rainy day colors, if you will. I remember I wrote down that the aesthetic was dusty and everyone needs a bath, and you get that. Like they're on a desert, what looks like a desert planet that somehow has woods, but even the woods look barren. It's just trees and rocks. And when they're out in the open, it just looks like a straight desert that they've somehow planted plants in order to grow and eat and all that. So it starts off, it's very mysterious. I've wrapped a whole season and I'm not sure what was the point. I don't even know where they're going to go next with this, but it was not bad. So that's the tricky part here, because it wasn't a bad show at all. Now, it's certainly not for everybody. If you like sci-fi, you'll like this. If you like anything that they've played on the Sci-Fi Channel, this would be like a cut above the stuff that you see on the Sci-Fi Channel. It's very artsy. meaning that there's a lot of dream sequences and a lot of trippy things and voices talking to people and all that type of thing. And it plays with the idea of religion and non-religion and what that means and what that looks like. And like I said, there's a lot of mystery in this show. So when you get to the end of the season, you're not going to be any closer to resolving some of the mysteries of the show. There's no big reveal or anything like that, which I don't know if that serves this show very well, depending on when season 2 comes out. Because if I have to wait a year to see season 2, by the time season 2 comes out, it is very possible that I will lose interest and say, I don't really need to see a season 2. There was nobody on this show that I feel very attached to. There's no characters that are like, oh my goodness, this character just resonates with me. I don't get any of that, but there's a lot of cool future stuff in it. And one thing that I was really interested in is, again, so these androids have been sent to this planet to raise these human children as atheists, but several times they flash back to the world in which the atheists were at war with the theists. And it was very interesting to see what the world had become and why things were the way they were. And I'm always interested in seeing how things devolve. Maybe it's for some sort of practical study, especially for those, all of us that are living through the pandemic right now. But watching this, as it flashed back, I found those parts to be very interesting. Whereas the present day portions, not so much, because the whole show feels like it's going towards a point that it's just not there yet. And the reason why I don't trust a show like that is because Lost, that show on ABC, asked me to trust it years ago, and it turns out they were making it up as they went along. Game of Thrones asked me to trust it even as recently as last year. And again, turns out they were making it up as they went along. So I don't trust shows that have big premises or some sort of mystery. I don't trust them to ever get to their point. I don't trust them to ever tell me what they're going to tell me. I think they could very much at the end just say, whatever, nothing happened, whatever. And just walk away saying, didn't you enjoy that journey? And I am not one of those people that enjoy the journey if the destination is not good, especially when it comes to metaphors and movies. So, yeah, this was not my favorite show. Man, am I saying I didn't like it? No, because that's the thing. I did. There were parts of it where I was like on the edge of my seat and very interested. And I think those parts all had to do with the struggle between the theists and the atheists. And it was very interesting, the things that they were doing with religion, like in the ways that people were spreading the religion and talking about it. All of those interactions were very, very interesting to watch. Even the way that they believed and the way that they told others to believe was all very interesting. So I engaged with all those parts of the show. But it's just, I feel like this show might be going nowhere. And that doesn't make it bad. It just means that, do I want to stick with a show that's going nowhere? So I've stuck with it 10 episodes. We'll see what that next preview looks like when they put out the preview for the next season. But I don't see this being a hit. And I haven't heard anybody talking about it thus far. So, I mean, I found out about this show almost by accident. So we shall see. We shall see. If you like sci-fi, I think you'll like this show. Again, and I think I said that earlier, but I think if you're like a genuine, like, I love a sci-fi show, you'll like this. There's interesting things to see in it, but I'm sitting here right now and I'm like, I'm fairly certain I'm going to forget about this show. And as soon as this review is over. So yeah. And with that, Leaving the Theater is a production of ohitsBigRon Studios. Theme music by the mysterious Breakmaster Cylinder. To find out more about this show and other ohitsBigRon Studios shows, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ohitsBigRon. That's at ohitsBigRon. If you like this show, check out our sister show, Time Well Spent. Leaving the Theater will be back soon, but until then, I'll be here on the couch.